Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another Friday night of Let's Talk Benchrest with Kentucky Rimfire and Hobbies. Tonight, we got some pretty good discussion to take place here. So far, we have covered cleaning rifles. We've covered a lot of rimfire stuff. So, we kind of took this along as if we were building our dream rifle, and we talked about our scopes and our picks and scopes. We've talked about barrels and uh, how we select our barrels and different brands. Um, we've also talked about actions. We've talked about stocks. We've talked about triggers. Um, we've went through just about everything we could think about putting a rifle together. We've also talked about ammo and sorting ammo, selecting the right ammo, lot testing ammo. Um, so tonight, to try to maybe close out the rimfire part of it, and we'll dive on into some more range gear, and then maybe work our way into center fire. But tonight we're going to talk about rimfire um, competitions from the bench rest. Everyone here shoots competition of some sort, I think. Um, but not everybody shoots the same style target or the same style competition. So we're going to go through a lot of variables tonight. We got a bunch of targets to show as examples of what people shoot, and each of us are going to try to talk about each one. Um, some of us have more strong points than others in each of these topics. And looks like the side chat's taking off tonight. I see J Delta out there. I see Pick, TJ Fishing, Rustic Rimfire, Hillbilly Up, Del Pogue. Um, Guys, I appreciate y'all getting on, and I encourage y'all to interact in the side chat. If there's any targets that you all shoot competitively in rimfire that we don't talk about, I'd love to hear about it in the side chat. Um, or any of the targets that we bring up that you know a little bit about, please let us know also in the side chat. I know there's like PRS and NRL out there, that style stuff, but this is mainly like bench rest stuff that you shoot off the bench rest. I'm trying to keep it along those lines because we did name this live. Let's talk bench rest. So um, but first off, I need to get the guys from backstage that's going to help me get through this show tonight. And first up, we have from Pennsylvania, uh, Rimfire Dave.
Hello, everybody. It's another good night, and Chad has picked some great topics to talk about tonight, and I can't wait to get started.
All right, next up, he says he's not on vacation, but he's in a better spot than I am, and he's coming to us from Mexico, and that is Hasbro in Mexico.
Hola, amigos. I'm eating too many burritos. I'm starting to adapt.
just don't drink the
Oh
water.
man, good to be with you guys. Good to hear English. That's always a good thing.
Yeah.
And
We missed you the last couple of
thank you.
weeks. I know you've had a lot going on.
Yeah, they've been rough. I got one more week here, and then I'll get home.
Yep,
And a few hours after I get home and sleep, I'm going to the range if it's weather permitting.
that sounds like a any day at the range is a good day. So, all right, up next from out in Minnesota, and he's getting prepared for that Long Gong Challenge next weekend. That is Minnesota Mike.
Evening, everyone. Glad to be here. Just a little bit more preparation for my long gong match next Sunday.
And up next is a guy that I know has shot a lot of different styles of targets. He don't shoot them so much anymore, but he's got some knowledge about it, and that is George from Southern Rifle.
Well, you
George,
know, man,
George,
how's
it's
your
been
week been
okay.
besides wet and nasty?
Wet and nasty.
Yeah,
That's all it is.
Yeah,
The wind has just been the days you can shoot. Damn wind is a bad chance. So hopefully one of these days we will catch some good weather.
all right. Well, up next from here in Kentucky, he's probably my number one fan, and he's also acting as a co-host most of the time. That is Justin Lowe.
Nice to be with you guys tonight. Got some good topics coming up.
Justin.
Howdy, Dave.
Yeah. All right. And last but not least, our technical support and the guy that helps me make all this happen, American Hillbilly.
Hey,
Good to see
everybody.
y'all. Oh man, I tell you what, I've heard about people enjoying the holidays, but man, Hasbro's the only person I know that started celebrating Cinco de Mayo and ended up in Mexico. So I mean,
That trip got a little far off.
Oh man, good to see everybody tonight.
Yeah, he went down there for Cinco de Mayo.
I wish I could say, yeah, too many margaritas, I lost my way, but that didn't happen.
Well, I was gonna say you had one too many, and that's where you woke up. Well, we'll go around the room, guys, and one at a time. We'll talk about what styles of Benchrest 22 shooting have you done at this point, and we won't go into depth yet about the details of each style shooting. We'll just talk about the ones that we have done, and I'll start it off. So, at our range, when I got the idea that I wanted to put together a rimfire shoot, I searched for the target that I thought would be a good target, and unfortunately, I probably picked out one of the most difficult targets to shoot. That 10 ring is very, very small. It's we've yet to have anybody shoot a perfect card, and we got some good shooters and some good rifles. It is a tough target, and I got online and I done some research, and there was a shooting club in Georgia that already had a rule book established, and I just adopted that rule book and went with their rules, and we shoot the USBR target, and then the only other challenge or the only other competition target that I've done is the time that Justin and I traveled to Jackson, Kentucky, and we shot in a ABRA tournament, which was a big shoot, and you shoot a total of 6 cards in that tournament. So, and we'll talk about that just a little bit later, but let's just go around the room. And Justin, what style 22 competitions have you been involved in from the bench, buddy?
Just like you said, our local matches, the USBR, and then the match we shot in Jackson. There was that ABRA or
ABRA, yep.
ABRA? Yeah, it's a 20 bull target. The ABRA. It's pretty close to the same target that we shoot at USBR, but not exact. But it's a 20 bull instead of 25.
Well, Dave, you probably know the most about all of them, and in fact, you're going to shoot one of them tomorrow. So
I am. I'm going to shoot an ARA match tomorrow. They 2 classes, factory class as you buy them off the shelf, and then unlimited. But I've shot IBS matches, and I'm trying to think of the other ones, PSL matches, and there's some more, but it's been a while since I've shot them. I shoot 100-yard target. It's a five bull, and you shoot 5 shots at each one. And that's something that somebody invented. I don't even know if it's shot very many places, but in Pennsylvania, because I've never seen it anywhere else. And but if there's a Benchrest match somewhere, I'll shoot it.
I'd never heard of the PSO match until you just brought that up. So that's a new one to me. And I see Pick and them was talking to Mike in a side chat about the distances they shoot, and we we also have not far from us, probably a couple hours. Someone's supposed to be putting together a range that is bench rest, but it's out to 300. And I don't know when that's going to be finished and complete, but that might be something I'd like to go check out, shooting out to 300 with the 22. So, another guy here that shot a lot of competition targets, and that would be George. George, how many different types have you shot, buddy?
All of them.
All of them?
Not all of them at one time or another. ARA being my favorite. PSL after that, and like I said, I've shot them about all, but not in a while. Now I don't ever for anybody get the wrong idea that I'm current in any of it. I'm not. So I'm just telling you from the past.
All right, up next we got Mike, and I know he's going to tell us a little bit about Long Gong.
So Long Gong is supposed to be Robert, who started on the East Coast. I want to say he's in Massachusetts. If you go and check out anything on YouTube or uh, Facebook and do Long Gong, Robert Duhame. I'm probably pronouncing his last name wrong, but he's a guy that like created him and a bunch of friends on his property, clearing trees out further and further and further. They built 2 benches and they started shooting, makeshift steel targets. Um, and what they wound up with was, okay, well, let's see who can hit an 8-inch, a 6-inch, and a 4-inch gong. And you go largest to smallest. You hit the 8, it's worth 1 point. You hit the 6, it's worth 2 points. You hit the 3, it's worth, or the 4, it's worth 3 points. So a clean run in 10 shots all the way across. If you hit the largest, then the next smallest, and then you bang the smallest one 7 more times, is 27 points, and you do that 5 times for 50 rounds. And then it's a matter of aggregate of who has the greatest score of it. So it's quite the challenge. I will tell you, when I shoot my match at our range, knowing how the wind comes in 2 different directions, once I can connect with the 8-inch gong, I'm probably just going to stay on it because it's the smart bet. Get your 10 points and bank it, because a lot of these matches, when you look at the overall scores, people are winning it with scores in the 60s and stuff. So if you got ideal conditions and you can hit them smaller targets, but that's kind of what Long Gong's about. If you didn't know, that's what I can bring to like bench rest shooting, because I have no other experience in BR style shooting other than what I'm going to be doing in this. And unfortunately, my match here in Minnesota, we're going to have to shoot it from the prone, because putting benches where the impact area is at, we could potentially shoot some obstacles on the range that is going to prevent me from ever being able to do anything there again if we damage equipment. So that's why we're doing it from a prone position.
You keep hanging around us BR guys, and you'll be shooting BR out there
Oh,
before you know
trust me, there's ranges around here that do rimfire bench rest, and I'm seriously thinking about getting into it. I'm fearful that I will go down that route of, I got to
It's a
start
rabbit
finding
hole.
this rabbit hole of other rifles, and I just don't need any more guns.
Sure you do.
So.
it. Sure you do.
No, I really don't. I've got them all over the house, safes and in boxes and stuff like that. I've got them in a storage locker somewhere right now. I don't need any more. And I've kind of come to where if I buy something, I gotta sell. To buy one, I need to sell 2. Okay, so
Yeah.
no, I don't. But if it's something I can do with what I've got, I might start going out there and playing with that. So.
Right. Well,
Hey guys, I just shared your stream, and my stream just got taken down saying somebody was touching a firearm, and you're still live.
well,
You're in Mexico, different rules.
yeah, you're in Mexico.
International rules.
Yeah,
Wow.
Put that burrito down.
Yeah,
Yeah, no kidding. It
you can only
arms are
talk 30
dangerous.
super carry down there.
Wow.
Well, real quick, guys, Chris Lang's over in the side chat. He said he just wanted to check in and say hi. He's feeling like crap. He may not stay on long, but we hope you feel better. It's that time of year where everybody's allergies and stuff's going to act up and get the crud.
Mhm.
So,
It might be my
Hasbro,
infidel shirt that's got us stuck down.
uh, Hasbro, before you get kicked off here, what style BR-22 have you done?
Mainly the IBS 50-yard bench rest for rimfire.
Right.
That's what we shoot most often. A couple different contests during the year on that one. You guys, I forget the name of the target, but it's like that, but even worse. You talked me into buying those targets, so I'm going to be shooting that this year. And then Mike talked me into getting a long gong, and so I started shooting that for practice now too. So, but regularly, yeah, it's IBS rimfire at the 50-yard target.
I'm very, very interested in the long gong, and had I not taken a week's vacation this year for helping out the flood victims, and then I took a week off when my wife had her surgery, I've used up a big bulk of my vacation. Then I've got a little bit saved, but that's to go see that guy over there.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we're gonna make a trip up north, and hopefully we can put a custom rifle together and bring it back. And but I've saved a few days for that. But maybe next year I get 3 weeks off a year, so maybe next year I can save some time and get up there and shoot that. If you put one on again next year, so
Well, I do have the ability to drive it down there too.
yeah.
It is mobile. I got mine. I don't know, Mike, where you got yours. I got mine from Shooting Target 7. And pretty nice setup. Pretty easy to set up fast. And
And a
I
great
I
hear
gear.
it.
bought 2 sets from I have other shooting target 7 targets, but I bought 2 long gong sets from DM targets.
Okay.
We've had shooting target 7 on Guns Bearing Therapy. Really, really nice guy, veteran, and
Yep.
Yep.
great stuff.
Well,
DM
here,
is
Bill. Go
Pardon?
ahead, Mike. Go ahead, Mike. I cut you off.
I was gonna say DM Targets is as well. X Steel Targets is veteran owned. There's a lot of steel target companies and manufacturers out there. Most of the ones made in the U.S. they are veteran owned companies. Just so you know.
I've
Yeah.
got to get me a good KYL rack.
Yep, it's a great thing to have.
I got our KYL racks. Well, in fact, when me and Justin went and shot the ABRA rack tournament, they were one of the giveaway prizes at that tournament was um, I think was it $100 off, Justin?
It was $100 off $250 purchase and $250
Yeah,
off a $500 purchase.
and that was through
JS
JC
targets,
JC Steel.
JC Steel, yeah.
JC Steel, yep. And those are really nice KYL racks. I actually bought 2 of them.
If you guys watch the advertisement for Shooting Target 7's KYL, that's actually me shooting it. The back of my head. I'm a back of the head model. Can't get the face.
I want to be a finger model.
Yeah.
I made it in Shooting Times magazine one time. My arms, me shooting a rifle from behind, you can see like just the back of the head.
Hillbilly, have you shot any Benchrest competition targets, or if not, what type do you think piques your interest?
Well, I mean, the competitions we have around here is more like shooting bear cans and stuff, But yeah, no, I'm sure there is some around here. We really don't have any gun ranges around here because we can shoot on our own property and stuff. And so, like, it definitely would have to drive away, a little ways to even find a gun range. really about the only thing we had around here was basically a skeet shooting, one. But yeah, it all sounds interesting. It looks fun. I would definitely like to do that sometime. No doubt about that. And
I see Boomstick over there in the side chat. He'd be glad to know that I finally shot some of that Monarch 22 ammo today. That I actually shot it through a custom rifle.
And it did pretty good.
And it done pretty good. So, well, I guess I said one of my questions was, what's your favorite type of competition Benchrest shooting? And I guess my favorite's going to be USBR because that's what we shoot on a regular basis here. In fact, we're shooting tomorrow, Justin and I. And Justin, what would be your favorite?
The green meanie.
I really like the USBR. When I first got into shooting before we started shooting our matches, I bought a bunch of the IBS targets, and that's what we'd practice on for years. And then we started shooting USBR, and it's definitely a lot more challenging target, USBR. We also shoot the A23-5 iron sight targets. I really dig iron sight shooting. I like that target. But my favorite target is probably USBR.
I like that. I really like iron sights from the youngest guy in the room.
yeah, I used to like those too, Justin, a while back.
Yeah.
He is the youngest guy in the room.
By far.
Probably older
No,
than you think I am, though.
He ain't that far away from me. I mean,
You're young too.
I am young. I'm trying to
I'm
stay that
43.
way. Yeah.
Heck, I haven't worked in 25 years.
Yeah.
I'm 47.
I'm 43.
67. Well, 30 years.
Young punk.
Yeah. We like hanging out with old people, though.
Yeah.
When you get older, you figure out you know.
Older.
Dave, what would be your favorite?
Oh my goodness. My goodness. I guess 100-yard bench rest shooting is probably my favorite. It's the most challenging, and 100 yards a lot different than 50. And I enjoy 100-yard. Iron sight is my favorite, but my eyes don't agree with me anymore. So shoot it while you can, Justin, because those eyes will start to go.
Yeah.
But 100 yards the best, in my opinion.
So what target are you shooting when you shoot 100 yards?
Oh, we shoot the. It's a target from Pennsylvania. I don't know who invented it. I have them in my car out there. It's about a 3-inch total target. It's got a 1-inch X ring, an 1.5-inch 10 ring, and a 2-inch 9 ring, and I think a 2.5 8 ring. And after that, it's 0. So it's a tough target. You shoot it 2 times. And there's only about 30, 35 guys that shoot it every Tuesday morning, all retired.
So when you shoot a 100-yard target like that, are you shooting one at each bull, or are you shooting?
There's 5 bulls. You shoot. There's 6 bulls actually. 1 sighter bull, and you shoot 5 at each bull. 25 total. Yeah.
Sounds like our target.
Yeah, and you're not measuring for groups. You're actually scoring it by the target.
Right. It's a score. It's a score shoot. Yep.
Yep. Okay.
It's there's X's on it though for breaking the ties, and usually they need the X's to break the ties.
I might need to see that target because we got. So that let me blow Justin up there. That's what we're using for open sights right now.
Oh, that's pretty big. Ours
is a 3-inch black circle.
It may be that size. Ours is all white. There's only X ring, a 10 ring, a 9 ring, and an 8 ring. 4 rings. That's all there is.
This is the A23-5.
Yeah, that's a regular small bore target.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
ARA.
Yeah. So when Justin and them puts those peeps on that, and they got that little halo out there in the front.
Now you shoot that target at 100 or 50?
50.
Yeah. Well, that's a target about. We shoot at 100.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get, and they give you 30 minutes to shoot 25 shots, and there's new guys come all the time, and they try it. You know, oh, I can do it, and you don't see them the second week. It's a tough target.
Now, we've had a bunch of them show up thinking that they're going to clean house, and then they never come back.
Yeah.
It ain't that easy.
In our first intermission, I'll walk out and get one. I know I have one.
So they show up to our shoots with regular old squirrel guns with buckhorn sights and think that they're going to shoot 50-yard competition iron sights, and Justin and them jerks out these big old peep sights with apertures and all that. They don't even stack up. Well, George, I know you don't shoot them anymore, but what was your favorite style?
What you mean? Favorite style of shooting, you mean?
Well, do you like which target do you like best? The ARA?
Oh, ARA.
Yeah.
ARA by far. You know, PSL after that. I like worst edge targets.
So you score it for worst edge.
Yeah.
Okay. Mike, I know you said you didn't shoot too many of them out your way, but you're looking at getting into it. So we're getting ready to show you a whole plethora of targets that you could consider doing your own BR matches out there with.
Yeah.
And most of these targets you can order just about anywhere. The only one I don't think you can just order is ABRA. If I'm not mistaken, you have to be a sanctioned club, sanctioned event before you can order their targets. That's the only way you can get. That's the only way you can get their targets is if you're sanctioned.
Yeah, because I said I've never like done sanctioned rimfire or bench rest or any type of bench rest events. So I guess my favorite is probably Captain America challenges, followed by fly swatters, and stuff like that. It's
Well,
those were fun.
That's
You're right.
That's one of the reasons I like the Captain America challenge, because it was nothing but practice for the style shooting that we do. But I mean, it's so close to one of these targets that it was practice for us.
The flies sitting on steaming piles are more accurate to my type of shooting.
Justin's got a little target that he cut out and took home with him. It's got fly guts all over it. So
I laminated it.
He shot a live fly and then took it and cut it out and took it home and laminated it.
Let me guess, it's on the wall behind you by the deer.
It's in my trophy room.
Yeah, Boomstick actually caught it on camera, him shooting one.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Who was it? Also, Benchrest Marksman did that too down in Australia.
Yeah, with an ant.
Yeah.
Yep.
There was an ant walking across his target, and he shot the ant. Yep.
What about you, Hasbro? What would be your favorite?
My favorite, sorry.
What would be your favorite target of the ones we've talked about?
Oh, well, it's probably going to be that. What was the one, Justin? What's the one you told me to buy? The one I just got recently that you guys shoot?
The USBR.
BR.
USBR. I'm going to like that one because the IBS target I've cleaned several times. Now, I've not got all X's, but I've been in the 10 and 12s and shot a 750. We shoot 3 of them at a time.
Yeah,
And
it's
so
much,
that's fine. So I was doing good, but that one is a lot harder. So I really do look forward to shooting that one and seeing how I do on that one.
it's much easier to get a 10 on those
Yeah.
IBS targets.
Yeah, it's just a matter of X's at that point.
Right.
And
right.
so I look forward to that other one. But to go back to Mike's comment, my favorite target of all of them still is that stupid fly swatter one. I really had a lot of fun shooting that thing.
That's kind of where it all started for me. I mean,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was shooting flies when I decided to start trying to do YouTube,
Yeah.
and I didn't really get my crap together until about the time Captain America came out. But I had it took some time for me to build up the confidence to get on camera and actually try to make videos. And
Now look where you are.
I know. I mean, I can't stop.
Now you're a famous YouTuber.
I can't stop now. I mean,
I can't get him to shut up.
that's right. Well, what about you, Hillbilly? I can't wait to hear what your favorite one is. Is it Budweiser, Pepsi Cola, Coca Cola?
Well, my favorite target's hard seltzer.
Hard seltzer.
Yeah, as everybody knows that watches my channel. But yeah, I mean, I kind of like him, Gabriel out there, possums in the middle of the night or coyotes, some of them moving targets, but you don't get to shoot them from Benchrest though. So, yeah, I like a lot of these challenge targets. The fly challenge, that was a lot of fun. I think like when, just like basically shooting some groups, maybe testing ammo and stuff. I like, the smaller targets, because, it just, a little bit more challenge, getting in there and, trying to keep it inside that 2 or 3 inch circle, kind of a challenge on yourself. But yeah, I've not shot any competition, but a lot of challenges, target challenges, I've really enjoyed a lot. So.
TJ Fishing says he has a Benchrest set up in his backyard. He says he has a problem with feral pigeons, headshots only.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, grew up squirrel hunting, headshots only.
Yep.
So.
I got you this target, Chad. This is the 100-yard target.
Oh, you done went and got it. Okay, let me blow you up here. All right, so you shoot 5 at each.
Yep, there it is.
Yep.
That's the one I just shot this past Tuesday. Yeah, that was one. Yep.
Scoped or open sights?
Scope.
Okay.
Hey, Mike, we can hang with them with a Mark II. I'm kidding.
That's a loser. I lost.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's. You got to shoot this twice. I had a 122 and a 122. The guy beat me. He had a 122 and a 123.
Wow.
But
and you said high score was what's the most possible?
A 250. These are
250.
you get the center is 5 points. It's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah.
I'd like to get a copy of that. We might try that, Justin. Do some 100-yard check.
I'll send them right to you.
That'd be fun.
Well, you know my address.
I do. I'll get them in the mail to you.
Something that I had to go back because it was bugging me when talking about the fly swatter and whatnot. I had to go back and like dig through some of my old videos real quick. And I don't know if any of y'all shot Eli's the Z challenge target. Do y'all remember that?
Yeah.
That was an interesting challenge target too, because you were shooting in that little circle and then it was group size. So there were a couple of different, things that needed to calculate together to how you did that, which is kind of reminiscent of how he took that. Now we're out to 100 yards and we're looking at group size again. So, I don't know. I just had to share that real quick because as soon as I said fly swatter, it's like, no, there's actually something else I was thinking of, and what was it? And I couldn't remember the daggum target, but I found it. Z challenge.
I'll tell you another good one, Mike. I like that thumbtack challenge you had out there for a little while.
Yeah,
that was.
It just didn't take off.
Oh yeah.
Out of all of my challenge targets, the only one that like really kind of went crazy was that CCI, the CCI challenge target where I took
Yeah.
5 shots that were the actual size of a cartridge, and then I reduced it 25%, another 25%, another 25%.
I like that one.
And
Yep.
people love that because it was like in every, it was a challenge you shot with any rifle and any guy's ammunition, so.
And it was one of those things too. I did that with several different guns, and you saw the best of those. But a lot of guns just don't like that ammo, and some will do okay. It's all of them throw a flyer, but
oh yeah,
That's when you.
That was a good target.
That's when you start weighing and rim thickness checking.
Yeah.
No, I did that. It didn't help at all. I got a super anal study on Thunderbolt ammo. It's Hillbilly Special there. And I bet you I spent 9 hours of my life doing that stupid study, and it showed basically nothing.
I don't remember that one.
No, I don't either.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on, and we're going to go around the room to each person and that has experience in these and let them talk. But I'm gonna pull up. I've got some pictures here where I've pulled some targets. I'm going to pull up each one of them, and we're going to try to talk about them. And some of these I've never seen before, and you guys may not have either. Like this first one I got here, it says it's an unofficial target, but that looks a lot like it looks like a lot like a ARA.
Factory class. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So
it's unofficial because it don't have the sighters across the bottom, and
Yeah.
there's more sighters than that.
Okay, so that would be the same as this.
Yeah,
That's
pretty much.
I think.
Yeah, that's the unlimited target.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
The factory's bigger.
Yeah. See how small that is? Yeah.
Oh yeah, down at the bottom. Yeah.
Yeah. See that? That's what makes it
that one.
official.
The
Okay.
other one was a practice target. The first one.
Right. The first one was a practice target. You can buy them on Amazon.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the 10 ring on this is not the dot, right? It's the actual circle outside the dot, right?
Yeah. It's if you look in the top left-hand corner, it shows you how to score it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's worst edge.
Yeah. Worst edge.
Okay.
If it breaks that line or even comes close to it, you'll 50 points. You'll lose.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that'd be heartbreaking.
So each
Yeah,
ball's 50 points.
It is heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Holy cow! How many points are there per target? I need a calculator.
So it's
2,500.
2,500. You don't see a lot of
That just made my brain
2,500s.
We can't count that high in Kentucky.
I don't have that many toes.
Well, I've seen this target a dozen times, but I did not know it was worst edge scoring, and I did not know that it was 2,500 possible.
Yep, it's worst edge, and it's mostly done by computer. Yep.
Yeah.
What is it? Target score? Practice score, ain't it?
Practice scores. That's
Is that
what
the
score.
program?
Practice score is the online registration thing,
Yeah.
so where you can register for matches and whatnot.
Yeah, practice score is what they use to register you.
For
That's
the
what they-
upcoming matches, yeah.
Yeah, that's what they used to register us when we shot the ABRA.
Right.
tournament. So I guess we can go to that one next. This here is the ABRA card, and it's just 20 bulls. And they had you in this tournament. You had to sit. You shot 6 of these cards, and then they took your total score. And so it was.
You shot 2 targets each heat.
Yeah, you shot 2 targets each heat, and they had a rule too. You had to have at least one sighter. You couldn't just go shooting your card. You had to have one sighter on every card
To be official.
to be official.
ARA is the same way. You have to have one shot in the sighter.
Okay.
Which, I mean, who wouldn't? I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not going to start shooting without seeing where I'm at.
Yeah.
So
Get rid of that cold bore.
yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
So when we went and shot this match with ABRA, at that time, the only thing I had that was my best shooting rifle was a 1022 target model with a Green Mountain barrel. And I went down there thinking that I'd just get in a semi-auto class, or whatever. Well, when I got there, they was like, it's been rebarreled, so we have to put you in unlimited. And I was like, really?
Yep.
So I got stuck in an unlimited class. But thankfully, there was only 3 of them. So I walked away that day with a guaranteed 3rd place trophy. I got 3rd place, guys, in a big tournament. So
Awesome.
And you know that
but no,
you
that
got a
wasn't
participation trophy.
that wasn't where I was going with this. So perfect score is 2,000 points on the ABRA 6 cards. Am I right, Justin?
It's 200 per card, and there was 6 cards. So
No, it's 1,200. Possible 1,200.
And what
Yeah.
did you shoot?
yeah.
I
To
was
take
in
third.
I was in the 1140s, and
Oh, good.
the guy that got first place was in 1170s. So I wasn't far off. So even though I got 3rd place as a give me, I still feel like I done pretty good.
You did.
So, anyways, that's that one time I got 3rd place.
if I could real quick, Chad,
Go ahead.
you make a good point with what you said about because you rebarreled something though that really doesn't maybe pertain to what we're directly talking about, but for people that aren't sure, that is a mistake that you want to try to avoid. Because I made the same mistake with that, and I'm not gonna pick it up to show anybody, but with what I was my kid's rifle. That I sold him my B14 with the ER Shaw barrel on it. That was, in a video I dropped yesterday or whatever. And anyway, my point on that is that when I bought that rifle 5-6 years ago, when those things first came out, I was just chasing, small groups from a bench, with other old guys, at our local range, trying to see who could shoot the smallest, a 3/8 and smaller, 5-round groups. And when I put that ER Shaw barrel on there, with some Ely target going through it, it's like, woohoo! And then I was like, okay, I'm going to go out and I'm going to shoot, NRL 22, thinking that
Nope.
I'm going to jump in with, just factory production glass. That barrel on there threw me right into open, and I got my
Butt
ass
kicked.
handed to me,
Yep.
Yeah.
in the open class. Okay,
Same thing
because
here.
I rebarreled it. So
Yeah.
I
it's just something to be aware of. If you're gonna get into something and you want to put all this cool stuff on it, you better read the rule book and know what this class is and what you can do to your rifle. So
got 3rd place
Awesome, Chad.
in unlimited. Boy.
yeah,
Yeah.
Anyway,
Participation
I mean,
trophy.
same way.
Participation-
I mean, think about it.
participation.
Same way in car races. You can't take a stock car and put a big block engine in it and want to race in the factory class. I mean, it's just common sense. Really. I mean,
we got the biggest laugh out of that day that I got a trophy regardless.
Yeah.
But
That's awesome.
my
Oh, I
score
mean,
was
you got a great score though,
my
dude.
score wasn't that bad. It wasn't at all. Mike, I ran into the same deal, and this is my own rules. I I I, I adopted this rule book for our USBR, and it says right in the rule book that you can tune your trigger, but you cannot have a trigger replacement. And I bought that new BMRX. First thing I went and done was put a big Trigger Tech trigger in it. And guess what? I can't shoot it in factory class now because I changed the trigger.
Now he's in precision class.
Yep. So, yep. Yeah, be careful about those modifications. Now,
Yep.
I probably could have shot it and nobody would have ever known, but I'm not going to do that. So, because nobody's checking. But, anyways,
It's
so
the simplest thing like that. The field stock on the Mark II, because I took it because Savage doesn't make a Mark II in that stock. I can't shoot that in a factory class. You
yeah,
know, it's the same type of a thing. You know, it you can get it in a much nicer Boyd's stock and a whole bunch of other things. But because it's in an MDT, now it throws it into a different class. So you know.
and so I know most of y'all have already heard this, but first time I ever met Justin, I was having my first match. I really didn't advertise this match other than within our club because I really wanted to get my feel for running the match before I made it known outside the club. But Justin and Bruce shows up. They don't get their guns out of the truck. We're having a pre-shoot meeting, and Justin's like, "Well, we got a couple of rifles you might want to look at and see how you want to class us." And I was like, "Okay, well, what are they?" And Justin said, "Well, they could be hunter class, or they could be factory class, but we're not going to do that to you." And I was like, "Well, what is it?" And he goes, "That's just an old Winchester 52." And I was like, "Well, can't be that bad." And they go get their guns. They go get their guns out of the truck, and it's these big heavy barrel 22s, and they got scopes on them about 3 foot long. And I was like, um, "Yeah, yeah, you're probably not gonna go shoot those in the factory."
I looked at his rule book, and I had walnut stock, and everything, classed out to be hunter class, and yeah, we didn't do that to him.
Yeah, he's like, "We can't do this to you." So, but all right. So another target. Let's see here. What we got here? This is an IBS 50-yard rimfire target,
Mm-hmm.
and this one it's very similar to the USBR target. That it's got the little 10 ring in the middle. And I'll show you the comparison. This is the USBR target that we're talking about. And you can see how small that 10 ring is in the center. And if you're touching that 10 ring, if you plug it and it's touching, then it counts. If it'll plug, it counts.
Best edge.
At best edge, yes. But that 10 ring it's very hard to shoot. Well, we haven't seen a perfect card, so I'm not going to say it's impossible, though, but I sent some.
247, the best card we've had.
Yeah, 247. I sent some to Dave up there to try out. Dave, have you ever got the opportunity to try shooting one?
The wind hasn't stopped under 35 miles an hour yet.
Wow. So just to jump in here, the IBS versus the USBR, a perfect score with IBS could get you like a 225 on the USBR. So you're like one scoring ring harder on the USBR. So a 225 on a USBR would most likely be a 250 on the IBS.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So all nines would be all tens on the other.
So you can see the difference in them real quick. So like,
Oh yeah.
here's the IBS he's talking about. And the 10 ring is anything inside that thick green circle in the middle, not the dot. The dot counts as an X, so the X is used as a tiebreaker. But if you look at the USBR target here, inside that thick green ring is a 9. You have to plug that little tiny center circle in the middle to get a 10. So it's a more difficult target.
You gotta get all that circle, right?
You have to. It has to.
It's
It can
best
touch.
edge.
It can best. It can touch that circle.
Okay.
You don't have to cut the circle.
It has to plug the circle.
Yeah. So you can definitely shoot this card and get a higher score because it's a little bit more forgiving target.
It's harder to get X's on it, I think, but it's
It is.
easy
It
to
is.
score.
It is right. You're correct. Yep. But it's easier to get 10s.
Yep.
So another target that I found and I'm not familiar with, and I don't know that anybody here has ever shot it. We'll see if anybody has. Is this Acme Precision Benchrest target? Has anybody ever shot this one?
Nope.
I've never seen it, but it looks interesting.
Acme, I expect to see like a Roadrunner or Coyote.
Yeah, coyote.
And then, of course, we already talked a little bit about the ARA. This is the unofficial target, and this is an official target. And then here's another one that I'd never seen before. It's called Rimfire Benchrest League. And has anybody ever shot that one?
That makes me go cross-eyed to look at it.
Yeah, it's a little too much red.
It looks
Like
like
Captain
a
America.
spiral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Is it
and that
spinning?
is, yeah, that is similar to the Captain America, except it's got the Captain America had a blue center.
Yeah.
So
It's giving me vertigo. Get it down.
Get it
Well,
off
if
there.
all right. Well, if you think that one's bad, look at this one.
Not as bad.
No,
Yeah,
it's not.
but that is an IBS target.
That's
Yeah.
100-yard target.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a toughie.
yeah, that might be the one we need to try to get and shoot at 100.
Yeah, that'd be a good competition right there because one shot in each bull, 25 bulls. Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, I know where to order those. All right, so here's another target that Dave brought to my attention, and I'd seen it before, but I just forgot about it. And this one is very, very, very difficult.
Oh, PSL.
Yeah, that winks at you if you stare at it hard enough.
Yeah,
that's,
if you ever go shoot the Triple Crown, that's one of the targets you shoot at. You shoot actually 3 or 4 of them. Yeah, you shoot 4 different you shoot an IBS target, an ARA target, and this target 4 times each.
So going backward here just a little bit, Dave. Like so, ARA, ABRA, IBS, USBR are all those a 20-minute time limit? I know the USBR is a 20-minute time limit.
As far as I know, they're all 20.
Yeah. So like
Maybe
our,
RA's 20.
yeah. So like our USBR target, anything below that green line is for score. You get one shot at each bull, and then the 3 up top are siders.
Correct.
You can go back anytime within your 20 minutes.
Just, yep, all of them you can. Yep.
Okay, so you can go back to your siders if the wind changes or whatever. You can go back up to your siders and shoot those as many times as you want, but you have to complete your single shot in each bull below that green line within 20 minutes.
Yes.
Yep. So I just wanted to. I know we didn't kind of touch on all that, but yeah, they are timed targets. And Justin and I Justin loaned a guy his rifle. He came to shoot. He's a range member, he shoots trap with us. He shoots cowboy action. He shoots steel plates. Um, but he wanted to
Good
shoot
job.
rimfire, and Justin said, "I'll let you shoot one of my rifles." So we got the timer running. He's shooting his card, and the timer's about to run out. And this guy's down there on the last bench, and he's on the telephone. And I was like, "Is everybody done?" And he goes, "No, I'm not done." And he goes, "Well, I gotta go. I'm shooting this target." And he gets off the phone, and I said, "All right, well, you got like 1 minute left." And then I started counting down the timer, and right as I said, "Time, safety up your rifle," he goes, "I'm done." So he takes a phone call during a match and finishes like right at the last second, and
Beat
he
me by
beat
1 point.
he beat Justin by 1 point with his gun.
Yeah, that wasn't even fair.
I told you about shaving bullets, didn't I, Chad?
Yeah.
Yes.
I was doing it. It was just a informal bench rest shoot, but the guy takes a phone call in the middle, so I take his magazine out, take my knife, and cut the tips of his bullets and put them back in his magazine, and he still won.
He still beat
Dude
you.
is probably calling DoorDash.
All right, so
Whatever ammo he was using has, you need to be like, remember that, because maybe you turned a round nose into a flat nose that shot better.
It was CCI standard velocity. It's like, no way.
so one question I got, and I've heard of this, and I don't know which style of shooting it takes place at. Um, George or Dave, you may know. But I've heard of rimfire matches where you come in, you pay your entry fee, and they hand you a box of ammo, and everybody shoots the same ammo from the same lot.
Mhm.
What style does that take place in? What typically is it? IBS or is it ARA? What?
We shoot that at 100 yard once a year. When you come, you pay an additional $10, and he gives you a box of $10 ammo. It could be SK Plus or whatever he found, and he gives you that box, and that's what you have to shoot that day. Yep.
It's probably an individual club that does that, Chad. It's just like a club thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that sounds like a really like a good idea for everybody shooting the same ammo.
Yes.
Sounds to
Because
me like it should be called
your gun's
Well-
not tuned for it.
Yeah.
You've also got clubs that have money caps, like you can have X amount of dollars in your rifle scope combo.
Right.
So we don't have that. So what we have in our rule book is we have a hunter class, we have open sight class, we have a semi-auto class, we got a factory class, precision, unlimited, and our rule book. Well, we do have high velocity, but nobody ever shows up for it. But the rule book kind of defines what you can have within that class, but there's no real like money cap. So for somebody that wants to go all out and spend big money on a rifle, more than likely they're going to end up in an unlimited class. So one thing, Mike, you was talking about earlier, having to class up. One thing that is an automatic class up is if you got a CZ 457, which is factory class, and you stick a barrel tuner on the end of the barrel, well, you just made that factory rifle an unlimited rifle.
Automatic barrel tuners, unlimited, no matter
Yep.
what you put
Yep.
on.
Automatic.
Yep. So
you're telling me, like, in these leagues, like when you're doing this stuff competition, like at the end of the deal, they don't like take the top 3 guys or girls' guns and do like a tech check on them. Make
Absolutely.
It,
In
some
big
sure.
places, they do.
I would think they would. That's how it is, like in
Yeah.
racing and stuff.
Yep.
Yep. ARA, you know, the winners of the ARA match, they got to bring their gun up. And usually it's somebody knowledgeable gets to check the barrel length hasn't been shortened, it hasn't been rechambered, the bolt hasn't been shimmed and altered in any way. Oh,
For
absolutely.
factory class.
For factory class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this is totally off topic, but I used to do racing go-karts, and if someone beat me in a race, I could buy their motor off of the cart that they just won with.
Mm-hmm. Claims.
There was a set price. You could
Mhm.
claim their motor, and
Yeah.
that motor now becomes yours. You can take it home and tear it down and see if they had any mods in that motor. And,
Yeah, and if they deny the claim, then they lose the position. And they're not supposed to be able to race there anymore.
right. Yep.
So,
Yep.
in other words, like $500, you can't have more than that in your motor. Yeah.
Yep.
So that'd be kind of a cool deal on a raffle sheet too. You got a price limit.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll let you beat me with that Davis rifle you just got, Chad, and buy it for what you gave for it.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Good thinking,
Yeah.
Chad.
I like that
Talking
plan.
You talking about that?
Yeah. Yeah, that.
That's not factory, just from the color of the stock.
Yeah.
Looks like a
I've
bass
shot-
boat. It looks like a bass boat.
It's a glitter rocket.
It blinds the competition is what it does.
That looks like a factory rifle.
Yeah. You go out there and you just see big streaks of color through your vision.
I've shot. It's kind of same lines what we're talking about, but I've shot in hunter style PRS match off of tree branches and stuff like that with hunting rifles, and it was like kind of unlimited. Actually no, there was some limitations. If you showed up with a scope that was higher than 9 power, they set your magnification at 9 power and they taped it down, and you couldn't mess with it and stuff. And so you could show up with a 30-06, a 30-30 or whatever, but you had to pull 3 rounds out of your box of ammo and run them over a chronograph, and nothing could be traveling faster than 1800 feet per second. And I thought that was a neat way to be like, okay, it's just a check on, okay, is everybody playing by the rules? Because you walked up before you could shoot it, and if you shot 3 rounds, you paid your registration for the match. If you shot 3 rounds through the chronograph and your average was over 1800 feet per second, thanks for the $50. Now you can go get in your car and go home.
Wow.
So yep,
Oh.
yep.
So
Yeah, had to actually tune down some loads to be able to do it. But
one of the reasons that I steered away from the reason I adopted the rule book that I did is I wanted this to be a bunch of guys coming together, good camaraderie. I did not want money involved, because when you involve money,
You get crybabies.
shit hits the fan. And I didn't want that. You get people starts arguing and bickering and just, I didn't want that. We have probably the best atmosphere that I could ask for, shooting for fun, just bragging rights.
Get your name on Facebook if you win, basically.
Yeah, you get your name on
Even-
Facebook if
even
you
with-
win.
Even with Justin beating you all the time?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I could show you a picture of some of the plaques at the range. I'm pretty sure my name's on there more times than his.
Just saying.
Just saying. But anyways, no, I want other people to win, because if I keep winning all the time, nobody's going to come shoot my matches. So,
Or they'll change the rules.
yeah, right. So
That's what happens to me.
No, I
Yeah,
try, and Justin can attest to this. I'll bend over backwards to help somebody get better.
We all
I've
do. I mean, we
I've
help
le-
each other.
I have parted with rifles just to gain a new
You won't
shooter.
part with your Winchester.
Well, I said, well, no. Some of them are here to stay, Hasbro. But I have let well, I see. I've let two CZ457s go, and I've let two Ruger Precisions go, just to get people into uh, shooting, and they're still there shooting with us today. And they do good with those rifles. But what worked out for them was Chad had already put the rifle through its paces. He'd already figured out what ammo it likes, and then he
Yeah.
hands off a gun to them and tells them, "Here, go buy this ammo. It's what it's going to shoot," and that's what they do.
yeah.
Um,
Chad, if you win Team West, they'll be calling you Jeff Gordon.
yeah, I know. So one time, I had an RPR that it shot good, but it wasn't like competition good. And the day that I parted with that rifle, Justin was there. The boy sat down and started shooting it, and he had,
We found the
I
ammo for it.
yeah. After I'd parted with it, we got a box of ammo out and tried it, and it laid down a group that like I'd never seen before. And Justin looked at me and he said, "Are you having seller's remorse?" And I was like,
We laid
if I
down some good
knowed
groups with
if
it.
I knowed it shot that good, I might not let it go.
Yeah. And ammo we never tried through it.
But no, I try to help people get better. I do. Uh, so, Mike, we got a couple pictures to share here, and again, uh, Mike's putting on a long gong match, and you're shooting out to three.
312 yards is what my match will be because
Okay,
uh,
I'll just throw your pictures up here, and you can tell us a little bit about them.
Why the extra 12 yards?
the so we're shooting off of a KD or a known distance course. So we've got berms at 2, 3, 5, and 600 yards to do shooting on a paper target range, typically in one direction. But we've got a berm off to a flank that is just happens to be 312 yards. And if I
Oh,
move forward of the berm, I'm going to have obstacles up ahead of me, so I got to stay higher than that.
oh yeah.
So that's why it's where it landed.
It's just that measured. Okay. I
Yep,
didn't know if
it's
there
just
was a
yep,
reason for it or not.
no, it
Okay.
was that
That
extra 12 yards is just it's the only way to do it and do it safely. And keep the membership of this rifle club okay with what I'm doing. So, yeah.
and hey, hillbilly, you have to shoot that dinosaur right there at 312.
Cool.
Actually, you're going to be shooting the. So if you look left or right, there's a 12-inch circle. That's what the kid and I were shooting here a few days ago to get him some 300-yard rimfire practice. And then next to that, on the bottom, that's an 8-inch circle. Above it's a 6-inch circle. Then next to that are three 4-inch circles, and then there's like an 8, a 6, and what's that? It's or no, it's a 6, a 4, and a 2-inch steel square, and then a IPSC that's like 4, 3 something, and then that little tiny mini IPSC on the top. That thing measures 1.25 inches across, and uh, up to the top of the tang, where it's painted basically is 2 inches. So pretty tiny. And then in the box, it's just random other rimfire hanging targets that I've got that I keep in egg crates in the garage or in one of the vehicles. So
Yeah, that one looks like my soup spoon.
And then that's just for this because Chad had asked me to take some pictures of some steel and stuff. So I grabbed a bunch of stuff that was in the truck and ran it out to the side yard here and set it up to take a snapshot. But again, variety of different targets. The long gong match will be the three large, round gongs on the target set to the right there. Again, being an 8, a 6, and a 4-inch target. And then I've got a KYL rack that everybody should own a KYL rack that starts at 2 inches and in quarter-inch increments drops down to a 1/8 inch wide bar is all that's on the last one there. Yeah, it just various steel targets, and all of that is rimfire 1/8 or quarter-inch thick steel. It's all pretty thin steel. Nothing that you'd ever shoot center fire at on any of those targets.
Did the neighbors start to get nervous when you set up all that?
No, because the neighbors have seen things that would make them a lot more nervous.
So with this long gong, Mike, do you start out at what's the shortest distance?
It's all done at 300.
Oh, it's all 300?
It's all done at 300. It's 50 shots, 10, 5, or 5, 10-round strings of fire, done at 300 yards, typically from a bench, a seated bench, on those 8, 6, and 4-inch plates. Now, what I'm doing to make the match interesting, because the rotation of shooting 2 people at a time on the 2 things to give people something to do while they're waiting to shoot, I'm setting up some side stages that'll be out from shooting targets from like 35 to about 120 yards of various steel targets off of different props. And I'm going to have things like that spinner target that I've got where you're going to have 10 chances to shoot at it. And if you hit it in the right spot, which is 6 o'clock on the larger bottom gong, you hit it about 3 times, perfect shots at about 50 yards, and it will finally come all the way over. And then you got to time your next shot to hit that bottom heavier paddle as it's coming over to keep the momentum. And then once it starts rolling over, you just let the gravity do the work. And then when it comes over and it's going slow, you got to hit it again. And if you miss a shot, the momentum works against you and stuff. But anyway, the point of that game is it's going to be like there's going to be a jar there. If you want to shoot this challenge, here, put $5 in the jar. Whoever can get it to go over with 10 shots the most times gets the money that's in the jar. So maybe you'll walk away with cool prizes and some money from the other people that are shooting it. You don't have to do it if you want to, but it's going to be some fun side stages doing that type of thing. So
I watched you shooting that in one of your videos the other day. It's pretty challenging.
It is, and I screwed that up, but that's what I do with my videos. I don't edit it to make it look perfect. I took some shots that I shouldn't have. When the smaller paddle comes over and it's starting to come down, and I take a shot at it, but it didn't quite make it. All you do is you kill the target when you do that. It's just you kill the momentum. It's pretty challenging to play that game.
So I'm glad I asked, because when you had said long gong challenge, I guess I was envisioning like PRS that you were going to start at like 50 and work your way up to 300, but no,
Nope,
you're just
nope. You're everybody's going to come out. They're going to have the opportunity to before the match starts. You're gonna give everybody the opportunity to sit down, and they're gonna have to. I'm gonna put that 12-inch target up downrange between the 2 long gong sets, and you have to show me that you can hit that 12-inch target before you're gonna be able to play. Or at least I need to see your splashes out there to know that people have got the elevation in their rifles to do it. Because I know I'm gonna have people that are gonna come out there that only have you know, uh, you know, 20 minutes of elevation. They don't have an MOA rail on it or something, and they don't have holdover ability or something that can't get to it. Even though I've communicated that, but matter of fact, when the kid and I were shooting the video that I put up there, I really edited that down for time's sake. But at one point in that video, you can hear faintly a guy comes over, he goes, "Is that a 12-inch circle?" That guy's someone that I didn't know until that day. He signed up and he's coming out to shoot that match. And and he was out there at that particular different range, just seeing whether or not he had enough elevation in his CZ 457 to get to 300 yards before he did it. So kind of cool.
So, I forgot to tell y'all. George sent me a text. He said his modem was showing a big red light, and he can't get back on. So, he said if it gets fixed, he'll be back. But if not, y'all have a good night. So, let's go around the room real quick. So, like all these different genres of shooting we've talked about tonight, if you're just going to recommend one rifle to get started in this, what if you were trying to gain a new shooter and just quick and easy get started, what would be your recommendation? So mine would be uh, any of the heavy barrel CZ 457s with a decent scope. That would get you shooting factory class. Um, Everybody shoots the same target. There's just different classes, and of course, with each class up, the competition gets uh, greater. So you don't want to start out and jump into an unlimited class. So my advice would be to start out into a factory class rifle, which would probably be like a 457 uh, varmint or an MTR. So Justin, what would you recommend for somebody that was looking to get started into bench rest style 22 shooting?
So I'm definitely with you on the CZs and any 457. Even like the pencil barrel ones. You could shoot CZ 457 American. You could shoot hunter class with that. Typically, the scores aren't as high in hunter class, and it's a good starting point. 1022. Go
Not
ahead.
not to interrupt you, but real quick, I'm seeing over here in the side chat. Rimfire Dave says, "Sorry, Chad, I'm tired. I got to get up early, going to bed. Talk soon." Dave, uh, give us a little what you got going on, what you got coming up, and you can tell us good night, buddy. And you can jump on off here.
Okay, thanks, Chad. Tomorrow's an ARA match, and then Tuesday I have a 100-yard match I showed you, and then I'm done for a while. So you won't be seeing me for. This is my last night on for 3 weeks. They tell me, Chad.
Okay.
So everybody have a good 3 weeks. I'll see you in a month.
Yep.
Good night.
Night, Dave.
Good night, Dave.
We'll be in touch, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
So 1022 is a real good option too for getting started out. You can start out with just a plain Jane 1022 and shoot hunter class with it in our matches, and then you could upgrade it with triggers and barrels and all that, and end up in the semi-auto class and keep building from there. It's like the Lego of rimfires is at 1022.
And as much as people say they're finicky and hard to deal with, you can make a precise shooter of a 1022.
Oh, yes, you can. Yep.
I've done it. So, and just talking about that match that I shot, I had a pretty good score, and there was two more rifles there that was 1022s that shot even better than I did. So, 1,170 points out of a possible 1,200. That's pretty good. So, what about you, Hasbro? What would you recommend if somebody's wanting to get into bench rest shooting?
Well, I'm going to steal Mike's thunder just to do it. A Savage Mark II, if they really want to get in on a budget, will compete. You get I'm partial to the FV model. It's a heavy barrel version of it,
Yep.
and that thing will compete. It just
Yep.
amazed me. Now you got to get the right ammo. It's picky on ammo, and for some reason, Center X and Midas Plus just work, and so you're shooting a little more expensive ammo. But otherwise, I'm sort of with Justin, 457 or 1022, because I have both that are just stupid good. They were great from the factory, but now they're unlimited, so they don't quite count anymore.
Yeah, hopefully when Dave comes back from his little off time, he'll have us a Mark II that will compete.
That's awesome.
They all will compete. Like I have the FBSR, which is 16 and a half inch barrel, and
Too
that
short.
thing it will impress you.
It just
It,
looks funny. My
it,
CZ came with a 16 and a quarter inch barrel, whatever it is, and I hated it because it always looked funny, so I had to change the barrel.
yeah,
The
yeah.
short barrels are so loud compared to like a
Oh
28
yeah.
inch barrel.
But they
Mm-hmm.
should.
50 or
I mean,
something.
Yeah, and where
Yeah,
we
but
shoot at underneath that canopy,
yeah, I
if you
bet.
ain't got that barrel outside that canopy, it'll ring your ears. So hillbilly, what are you gonna go with? And it can't be a high point. They don't have those yet in Rimfire.
Man, they'll be coming out soon, and you guys will all be trying to buy high points.
Say BCA. Say BCA.
I mean, they're already coming out with the AR high point, so I mean, it won't be long until they get a precision 22.
You mean
Oh
you mean
man,
you mean that BCA you got? It's not an entry level competition gun.
yeah, yeah, and that's kind of my deal. I the reason I chose the BCA 1022 and then also the Savage Mark II, Hasbro, I talked to him about that. They're both budget friendly and, they can get you in the ball game. And, once you get your, barrel seasoned in and all that stuff, and I think get the right ammo for a particular gun, you can be in there, doing some competing, no doubt about it, and still, do it on a budget.
I think that guy right down there showed us enough about Mark IIs that we know they'll compete.
Yeah.
We know they'll take a challenge target and sweep it right out from under you. So, especially that one screw Mark II.
Yeah.
But,
I don't even have either one of mine broke in yet. So
no, you haven't shot yours enough to be broke in.
yeah.
Mike, what would you recommend to get into Benchrest 22 shooting, buddy?
well, since Hasbro's already mentioned the Mark II FV, and I'm with them. The FV is where it's at, and I'll just say it. There are a lot of other channels much larger than any of us here that have played with an FV and had the same types of results. It's just they moved on to other things. And Don is who I'm kind of talking specific about. He had amazing results with an FV when he put that in some other stuff. Uh, you know, but anyway, uh, I wasn't gonna say a Savage Mark II to be perfectly honest with you, because you said if there was one thing where you wanted to like that someone could kind of do it all with, I was gonna agree with you. A CZ, and I don't own a single CZ, and I really want one, but like the 457 in I can't think of what it is. It's in a beautiful, like walnut looking stock that has kind of a bit of a cheek comb to it, not adjustable with the heavy barrel. I just think it's a dead sexy rifle to look at, but
Is
I
it the
know
one with
people that have them and they shoot amazing. So
the vertical? Is it got the walnut
yeah,
with the vertical?
it's got the
Yeah,
palm.
that's the MTR.
Okay, yep.
Yep.
So that's what I would tell someone to go to. There was a time when I would tell them buy a B14, and I wouldn't do that anymore because you got to throw too much other money into a B14 for the price point. You don't, and I love my B14, but if I could do it all over again, it you know to spend the amount of money that you pay for one of them, it doesn't come with a rail, and the first thing you got to do is replace, the trigger for $300 to $400 because it comes with such a horrible trigger. It's just ridiculous. So,
Yeah.
The
And the
BMRX, I would take it over the B14.
yep, I haven't laid hands on the BMRX yet. I would like to. It's just it came after,
I had the B14 carbon barrel, and it shot okay, but I had a lot of feeding and extracting issues out of it.
The magazine's a downfall.
Yeah, the magazines.
Well, and staking the extractor on it, and the little things that that I learned as I went along. And one of my kids' friends, when I took him out shooting last year, and he bought a B14 to get into NRL, and I took him and my youngest boy out to go play around with some steel to kind of give him some pointers and stuff. He's like, "Oh no, I know what your problem is, Mike. It's your extractor. You got to stake it. You got to watch this video." And he pulls up a video, and I'm like, he's showing me a video of Joe, Cyclops Joe, staking a B14. I'm like, you're showing me this? I'm supposed to be down here, and he knows more about the problems with this rifle than I did. But it's because, he's like an IT guy, so he's like really into, detail and stuff. So, and he did his research before he bought the B14. He knew that there were certain hangups and how to fix them, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, not knocking on my B14. I love it. It's
Yeah.
it's a
They're
super
good
accurate
gun.
rifle, but I paid too much for it. It's not worth the price point. So
And I love my BMRX, but I think the MTR is a better rifle, the CZ MTR.
There's more
And
support with it too, with
there's
aftermarket parts.
there's
That's
more aftermarket
Yeah.
parts.
Yep.
There's direct fit barrels that you can
Yep.
get for it.
Trigger
If you
parts and stuff.
if you want
Yep.
to upgrade it, you can. And then back to what we were talking about earlier, in our rule book, it says you can tune your trigger, but you can't replace your trigger. Well,
You can
an
Yo-Dave it.
MTR, you can get that Yo-Dave spring kit for $12, and
Yep.
and you got a trigger that's in the ounces, like very very nice trigger.
Yep.
And they're just the options with the CZ is endless. I mean, you can shoot them
agree.
Benchrest, you can shoot them PRS, whatever you want to make out of them. And they're good rifles. They're good rifles. So, all right, guys. Well, we're at the hour and a half mark, and I think we've covered all of our targets and our styles of shooting for tonight. So we'll just run around the room real quick. And if you want to share your channel and what you got coming up, feel free to do so, and we'll bring this thing to a close. We'll start off with you, Hillbilly. What you got going on?
Oh man, tomorrow night we got Guns Bearing Therapy, 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern. If you ain't doing nothing, come by and see us. We always just try to have a good time over there, and of course I'll have some more videos coming out this next week. So anyway, I appreciate you having this show, Chad. It's been a lot of fun. I've been learning a lot, and so always a great panel and side chat. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Appreciate you being here.
And
You
don't
bring
drink the
the-
water, Hasbro.
Nope, drink the water, Hasbro.
Yeah.
You can eat all the chalupas you want, but don't drink the water. No, man, I appreciate you being here. I know that you're not you're a firearm guy for sure, but maybe not as much as a bench rest guy as the rest of us. But you bring the comedy into the room, so
My first bench rest was an iron board.
yeah, that's
It
right.
was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
I
talked.
mean,
We
you know,
talked about that. His
Shoot
bench
Well,
Willie
it
was
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 just
just-
cook for him though.
We used to always leaned up against a tree if you had to get a good, steady shot. So
Yeah, yeah. Well, Mike, we know you got that big Long Gong match coming up, and it's right here upon us. So, what else you got coming up, buddy?
I think I got a day at the range is stretching it out target that or video that should drop here in a day or two using the B14. I'm gonna go out and tinker with my son's what the heck is this thing again? RPR Ruger Precision with the Shaw barrel on it. I changed his scope out. I'm going to give him a little bit more magnification and a better bipod setup than what he's got. And then get it zeroed in for him. And then Tuesday, he and I are planning on going back out to where we shot that last video at here again. And we're going to shoot an actual long gong match or an entire string of long gong on some target racks. And that'll be a really long video, but I'll edit it down. But if he does well with the RPR, then this is the rifle he's going to shoot. Otherwise, he's going to shoot that B14 that he hit 10 out of 10 shots here a couple days ago with, and I might bring that Mark 10A out and try to shoot some smaller than 12-inch targets, steel targets, with iron sights at 300 yards.
So, that rifle that I showed you a picture of there earlier, I shot it last night, stretching it out. We had the best conditions ever until I started shooting this challenge. It started getting rough, didn't it, Justin?
Yeah, a storm blew in.
But here's my target from last night with that custom rifle, and there's my average.
I can't read that. What's that say?
0.9115.
0.9115.
Yep. So my best group was my siders. I shot a 0.602 or 0.602. and then the wind started blowing and I started rushing, and by the time I got over to this last one, it was horrible. But
It was almost dark also.
And I lost light, like in that 36 power Leopold. Once you start losing that light, man, it gets crappy.
Well, from those targets you showed, you're going to shoot a lot better than that. Holy cow!
Oh yeah, well yeah. I'm take me back off solo. Daggone it. Yeah, I'm hoping.
I've seen that a couple of times now on some other people's videos too, where their best groups were the sighters. You know, I mean, like by far the best, group, and it's just it's a darn shame.
It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure.
Well, you have fatigue too, setting in. Conditions change. A number of things happen.
It just gets in Chad's head who's going to be harassing him if he turns in a bad score. That's what
I don't cherry pick my targets. I turn them all in. So, Hasbro, what you got coming up, buddy, down there in Mexico?
Well, I hope to be back in about 7 days and do a little shooting. But tomorrow I got a video coming out on a rifle that Ron Wayne restored for me. Probably one of the worst.
You gotta get out of jail first.
Yeah, well, just live stream, but one of the worst Red Riders is 1946. It's cool because it was made right when they started up. There's some unusual things about it, but it was in terrible shape, and he did amazing work for me on it. So that's kind of fun. But Hillbilly, you'll be really proud of the number I post to cut the can, because it'll make you feel a lot better. It's not a small number. But I kept going. Anyway, yeah, I did that. I really want to get back out and shoot the 100-yard challenge, Elijah's. I did pretty well the first time with the Savage. It was really windy, and I haven't shot my other rifles at it yet, so I really want to do that. And and I'm gonna shoot Elijah's excuses the next time too. Except I'm gonna put in each circle one of his famous phrases, and every time I hit it, I'm gonna say it.
Well, I do have a request, and I know that I know that you have mentioned coming down to Kentucky.
Yep.
Well, you're not allowed to come unless you bring one of those muzzle loaders. I want to shoot one.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I'll be shooting the black powder BBs too.
Yeah,
No, I absolutely. You'll have fun shooting that.
I absolutely love that rifle you built for Papa. That
It's
that
beautiful.
is a beautiful rifle.
It is.
Yeah.
Hasbro,
very
go ahead
cool.
and bring that 9mm that kept blowing up on you. Let him try that one too.
It's actually fixed and running great now, but boy, what a pain in the butt. Made me realize 9mm are not made for ARs. It's just fundamental. Everybody has problems. I got mine running though, but anyway, yeah. So absolutely, I'll bring one. I'll bring a couple of them down. I'll bring down a true bench rest that holds a bunch of records with a lady named Nancy Ross. And I bought this thing in Michigan. I don't know how it got up to Michigan. She's from Indiana, but I'll let you shoot that one. It's pretty cool.
Justin, what you got coming up, buddy?
We have a match tomorrow, USBR match, and you'll be part of that too. So I'll see you in the morning. But that's about all got going on, I guess.
You got
Sunday's
a
Mother's Day, so
you got a 200-yard target coming out on my channel on the 18th, and you got another 100-yard challenge coming out on my channel on the 21st, and then you got a 416 challenge coming out on the 23rd.
yeah.
Justin's been busy.
So, hey, I didn't realize that, but those are all in the same week. So that's like the week of Justin here on the Kentucky
All
Rimfire.
right.
There you go.
Kind of like Shark Week or something. It's Justin Week.
I mean, a better content now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The quality's getting better.
That's right.
Hey, Justin and Chad, you guys get a second. Chad, send me your US Benchrest schedule, and if it's allowed, I'll come down and join you one day
Oh,
when I get back in town.
Anybody can shoot it. You don't even have to be a member of the club. You just come in and
Always
pay
asking for the
$5.
schedule.
Yeah,
I'm sure I'll get my butt kicked, but it'll be fun anyway.
You just come
Oh,
in,
yeah.
pay Chad $100 cash. You can
yeah. I'll
He'll let
slide
me shoot
you.
anything.
I'll slide you right in there. Yeah.
It ain't nothing for Hasbro to jump in his RV and take off.
Yeah,
That's
I can
right.
do that.
Why, yeah.
What we should do is we should do like something where we come up with a target, and pick a day, and everybody has to shoot it on that day.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Different locations, but here's a target. Here's what we're doing. Something completely different. If it's just some kind of bullseye target, 10 shots, but you have to
Whatever
shoot it.
conditions.
Yep,
So I've got
whatever
it.
you have where you're at, and you
spot
got to
match.
somehow prove it. Like take a video of your
So
phone
it's
or something that it's today, and this is what you did, and this is what you're putting up, because this is what you can do in
Chad,
Kentucky on that day.
I've got the plan. Mike just did it now. It's going to be the middle of February, 200 shots, 2 hours. And we're going to see how long he can take it.
So if you got a 12 gauge and you still enter in
Minnesota
that,
ain't no joke in February.
Yeah.
It'll be like a spot match.
Yeah, so like
On the
it'll
spot.
be, yeah, well, it's going to be like going to a match, and
Yep.
whatever the conditions is the conditions. That's whatever you're dealt. That's what you shoot in.
Yep.
Yeah, that's. I
but
mean,
then again, Hasbro
It
jump
could-
in his
it-
RV and find somewhere to go where
yeah,
Exactly right.
so it could be raining over there on Mike, and it could be sunshine over here in Kentucky. That's a good idea. I like to do that. So where I work out of town, though, it's going to have to be a day that like
Friday,
a
Saturday,
week,
or Sunday.
like a
no,
Friday,
you're just
Saturday.
gonna
Or
have to shoot it in the Highline clearing, dude, with whatever you got with
well,
you.
I mean, I've shot out there before. It was only because I was shooting a rattlesnake, but
Well,
But
my
no,
my work week is that I got Sundays, Mondays, and Tuesdays off, and I can burn a vacation day to do something like that. It's not a big deal, but so I'm open for like doing something on a Sunday. But if folks that don't want to, because Sunday between family and church and whatnot, I get it. We can pick another day, but I think it's a good idea of do something a little bit different with the people that are kind of on the panel here, and then offer it out to everybody. Let's just get anybody that wants to do it. Let's go.
Like a
yeah.
live
So
postal
I mean,
match. That'd be kind of fun.
I could do Sunday. I mean, I go to church on Sundays, but I'm usually at the range Sunday evenings. So
Yep.
uh, that'll work.
Chad
Yeah,
talking about shooting on the job one time. I had to work on opening day of deer season, and the boy I was working on, there was some deer out there. I asked him, said, "Can I bring my rifle since I'm going to be working there?" He goes, "Yeah." Literally shot a deer, gutted it, rolled it in the front bucket of tobacco, and dumped it in the back of the dump truck. And then finished working and come on home. Easiest catch and load I ever had.
And got paid to do it.
So, of course, we've got Let's Talk Benchrest coming up on Fridays, and I was trying to do two videos a week, plus the Let's Talk Benchrest, which would mean 3 times a week. But I've gotten so far out on videos that I've had to back up and start doing 3 a week plus the live, because I just just like that custom rifle I just got. If I do a video on it and I push that out to the end of the videos that I've already got scheduled, then y'all are not going to see a video on that rifle till sometime in July. So, so I'm trying
You're an
not to.
overachiever, buddy.
Well, I'm trying not to overwhelm everybody, but then I'm trying not to push things out too far either. So, so
The
I'm gonna
weather's
start
good and more videos being made.
Yeah, and plus I got 2 people coming up with video ideas. It'd be me and this guy over here. You know, we don't get together anymore. What we don't shoot some kind of video. So, um, we did
That's
videos
coming up.
We did videos yesterday of that new rifle, and then I done another video of it today. So, um, yeah. So you're gonna start seeing 3 videos a week from me plus the live. So I'm sorry if that's overwhelming, but I just can't keep pushing them out, or next thing you know, I'm gonna be scheduled all the way through December, and uh, I'm just trying to bring good content, and I'm trying to bring a variety of stuff, not just shooting challenge targets, but I'm trying to show off, stuff that I'm adding to my collection. I'm trying to actually do some review videos. I'm sure y'all saw that I got my first product for review, which was craft holsters. And if you haven't seen that video, go check it out. I got 2 videos of that, and it's a very nice holster, very well made. And if you're not familiar with craft holsters, you should go over there and check them out. But yeah, I appreciate everybody getting on here and supporting us. Appreciate everybody in the side chat getting on and interacting with us. And next week, we may have a surprise guest. That's not 100% set in stone, but I got something planned, and I've been told that is more than likely can happen, but I will know more later in the week. So we may have a surprise guest next week. So anyways, with that being said, thank you everybody for being here. Thank you for everybody on the panel. And say good night, everybody. Let's end this thing.
Good night,
Bye,
everybody.
everyone.
Let's end this thing.
Hasta la vista.